lands. That is terrific right off the jump. And up next is the 21-year-old from Great Britain, Jake Jarman.
And if you had told me we would be this far into the Worlds and Great Britain would have no medals, I would have said that's not possible, and you're going to see why on this. He did this in the all-around finals, and it was just off the charts. So difficult. Oh my gosh! A fantastic vault. That's 3.5 twists. Double laid out somersault with 3.5 twists. He did not stick, but that was a really small little hop forward. If you compare that to Koi's first vault, this has a 4/10 buffer on it. And that's that little hop right there. I don't know. If the judges get that right, they could take only 1/10 for that hop. Typically, they don't. He is a twisting machine.
And he's really been one of the up-and-coming gymnasts for Great Britain, now 21 years of age. He was the European vault champion last year, won the silver this year. Look at Koi of the U.S. there. Still in the lead. Koi Young in first as we approach the midpoint of this competition, and the second vault coming up for Jarman. And Tim, just to follow up on your point about how Great Britain is still looking for that first medal. They've been so close. Fourth place in the team events and other individual events where they've been just outside the medals, but this is a team that has a lot of experience being on the podium, but they've been just on the outside looking in so far this year.
Yep. Max Whitlock not winning a medal on pommel horse, and was supposed to be gold, but completely came off the event yesterday. Very uncharacteristic. He's the 2-time in a row Olympic champion on that event.
Second vault for Jarman.
And with Koi, just rocking both of the landings, he really needs a great one. He's got a little bit of an advantage because his second vault 2/10 harder than what Koi did. Oh boy, and that is a very big step right there. 2/10 of a point advantage, but that was a 3/10 step, like I said.
And he is clearly delighted.
That was great.
Tim, this is going to be close, because it was a 3/10 step, but the other foot slid a little bit, and some form in the air. That huge score he had on the first vault certainly is going to help. I actually didn't think, and you can tell me if you disagree, I thought Koi's execution on his first vault should have been a bigger separation from Jake's, but the big start value, that's a game changer for him.
Double front with half twist.
Yeah, that big step back and the slide of the other foot. I don't know if they're going to take anything for that, but like you said, let's see if his legs are really straight. Really good from the board to the table, but a little bit messy in the air, no question about it. This is going to be really, really close, though.
Let's take a look at it slightly from the side. Up he goes, lifts well up.
Right there, he should have his knees totally together. From where the judges are, they're seeing it from the side, so they can't see that separation quite as easily.
And the smile says it all.
I don't know.
You just now have to wait for the score.
It's that 6/10 advantage he has in difficulty score, Tim, that it's just going to be hard for Koi to overcome that.
And it is a new leader in Antwerp. North of 15 and into first place for Jake Jarman of Great Britain, 15.050.
Jake, congratulations, gold medal on vault. Walk us through your final today. How special was that?
Yeah, so I think for me, just making it into the vault final was it was quite nerve-wracking, and coming into this competition I was definitely a lot more nervous than normal, but somehow I managed to keep it together. And as soon as I landed my first vault, I wanted to be excited because it was an amazing vault, but I just had to, you know, keep everything down, like keep the nerves down, keep the excitement down. And as soon as I landed the second one, it was such a relief, and you know, I was super happy.
How perfect did you feel you had to be? The American Coy Young went up, stuck both his vaults, and you knew there were some other good vaulters. How critical were those landings to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's within a matter of tenths, you know, so those landings can be costly. And seeing Coy like absolutely nail both those vaults, I was just in my head, I was thinking, wow, he's going to be up there, and it will be a challenge. But I'm just super happy to be able to compete at this competition, because you know it's one of the biggest competitions as a gymnast, to be able to compete at a world champs. I'm just super proud of everyone.
It's been a tough World Championships for Great Britain, especially after such a success last year. Does that make this gold medal even that much more special?
Yeah, I'd say it does. It's definitely something to be able to look back on in the future and think, like, you know, to be able to take away some positives. You know, like as a team, there's still work to do, but I feel like we're headed in the right direction.
I asked you if your legs were fresh going into the vault final. They looked like they were, but you said it was a little challenging yesterday, right?
Yeah. So yesterday I wanted to watch the British guys compete, and our delegation seating's right at the top of the stadium, and so I was watching them up top, coming all the way down the stairs and seeing them in the warm-up hall, and I went up and down so many times. I looked at the end of the day, I looked at my phone, and it was like, you've climbed 10 flights of stairs. I was like, oh my gosh, my legs are going to be so tired.
I think the moral of the story is we need to get better tickets for the British team next time, right? Congratulations on that gold medal.